fun. I was sitting here working on our JOC and I thought this is a great topic to talk to people about because it's something every fence contractor can do and it's something that's really gonna benefit our company. So what is a JOC? So it stands for Job Order Contracting. And essentially in this case, the city of Springfield, where we're from, had issued a bid meeting and invited every fence contractor in the area to bid on all of their projects for the next year. So essentially a job order contract is where one entity only ever wants to do business with one contractor just to make it easier on everyone else. So essentially their purchasing department will put out a bid invite and they'll say, for all of our fencing contracts for the next year, we only want to deal with one fence contractor instead of bidding it out multiple times a year to multiple companies. For us, it's a win-win because we know that we'll have all of their contracts. So this year we were actually awarded the job order contract from the city of Springfield, which is really exciting. But I thought I'd go through what kind of workload that looks like, how we got it, and potentially how you could get awarded a job order contract should you decide to jump through their hoops. So the first step in submitting your job order contract is to go to the pre-bid meeting. So the pre-bid meeting gives you all the information that you essentially need for your bid. It also tells you the parameters in which the jobs are, who your competitors are, and the third party, in this case, Gordian, that's actually putting everything together for the city of Springfield. Pre-bid meetings normally last about 30, 45 minutes. They're pretty quick. The document itself is about 80 pages. And so you obviously need to read that prior to that, but they go over how you're evaluated, which is kind of unique. So typically in a normal contract, you'll have a price, the customer will approve it, and you sign a document, right? In this case, you're evaluated using a point structure. And so they look for 4 different items. So price, obviously, is awarded the most points at 40. Statement of qualifications is 25. Comparable fencing construction experience is 20 points. And understanding the procurement process is another 15. Part of understanding the procurement process is a pre-bid meeting. So those are just free points for you, essentially, just to sit in there and listen to the entire process, which is really helpful for you, but it's also good for them to know that you're serious about it. The biggest hurdle in this case for us, at least for me personally, is the adjustment factor. So as far as a price goes, you're not quite sure what contract you're going to be awarded, right? So you know it'll be all of the city's contracts, but that could be a repair, that could be a vinyl installation, ornamental installation, chain link. It could be really anything that fits within that fence parameter. So they want you to give a number. It's called an adjustment factor to all your jobs. So in this case, what we were able to do is get access to their task catalog, which is a 4,000 page document. It's huge. I did not print that one out. It has every item you could possibly think of. It has roofing. In this case, it had everything related to fence. So it had vinyl, ornamental, chain link, anything, agriculture, which we don't do a lot of. So that was really helpful for us. It gives you every item that you could possibly need to build out a bid. And then it gives you their price or what they think that it's worth. So for us, this was the most daunting of it. I was able to take 3 different types of fence that we install, like wood, chain link, ornamental. And then I built out a fake job essentially. So I did 100 foot of these in 3 different heights. So essentially 9 different jobs. And we built out every single line item of what it would cost, what we would typically charge for that, and then what that task catalog evaluated the price to be. That was a pretty easy way for me to figure out our adjustment factor and how much more we need to charge to be in the ballpark of what we would normally charge a different entity. After that, they had you do, each adjustment, they had you do 4 different adjustment factors. So you had a non-prevailing wage, regular hours, so just what you would charge Joe Schmo off the street. Then you would have a non-prevailing wage after hours adjustment factor, a prevailing wage normal hours adjustment factor, and a prevailing wage after hours. So for us, essentially what I did is I built everything out and then it was in an Excel sheet. And so for the labor, I just changed what our labor would be for each of those prevailing wages, and it gave me that adjustment factor pretty easy. So it sounds very daunting and it is a lot of legwork, but at the end, I'll explain to you why it's worth it. So your adjustment factor was one of the reasons, or one of the point structures. So the next evaluation point was the comparable fencing construction experience. They wanted 3 different categories of this. They wanted 3 jobs that were more than 25,000, 3 jobs that were 10 to 25,000, and 3 jobs that were up to 10,000. I will say in the pre-bid meeting, there were 5 of us to begin with, and I did hear that this was a part that maybe a smaller company struggled with. So my advice would be to always keep your previous work orders, always have those good contacts, and to keep them in a place where you can use them as references. It really helped us, and it made it a very easy process. The next is they asked for 2 references. So we used 2 that were not within the comparable jobs, but we tried to use like a municipality if you can, just to show them like we have done government work, we are capable of doing this. And then the next was a statement of understanding of the procurement system. So essentially that was kind of like an essay of how we understand what it means to do the job order contract, how we got our numbers, that sort of thing. Overall, it was a lot of hoops to jump through, but it's going to be totally worth it. So not only are we going to have every job for the city for the next year, which is great, but they can also renew it up to 5 years. So essentially this is a 5-year contract as long as both of us are happy. Not only do we have the city's potentially next 5 years worth of fence work, but other municipalities, nonprofits, or school districts can piggyback on this JOC. So this JOC tells them that the city has done their due diligence. They have looked at all the other fence contractors in the area. They know that this is the best value for them, and it saves those other municipalities, schools, what have you, the time in doing the costing for every single contract. So I'm really excited to see what this can do for us. Right now, this is with the city of Springfield, but it can easily be transferred to the city of Branson, Nixa, Ozark. It's very helpful. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us. I know there was a little bit of headache to begin with, as far as all the paperwork. And they actually put this out, originally, they put this out to bid in June. And then in August was when it was due. They actually had an error on their part. And so we had to rebid it, and the new bid date was October. So I've been working on this since June. But I say that to say it is going to be worth it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's something that would be really beneficial for other contractors, whether it be small or big. I will say in the pre-bid meeting, there were general contractors there. They didn't just have to be a fence company. It was helpful to have those job references in the fencing world, but I had landscaping companies, I had our other competitors, that sort of thing, but they were also people that just did fence on the side. And I don't think that that was necessarily, that didn't put them behind either, which was really nice. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be great for us. I think that other, even smaller contractors, you should absolutely look into these. When you see this in your inbox, don't hesitate. It looks like a lot of work up front, but I promise you it'll be worth it. And once you kind of dig in, it was probably 10 hours worth of work for me to do, but that was over the course of maybe 3 months. So it's not as overwhelming as it looks. You can totally do it. And I'm really excited to start this. And I'll bring you along the process, and you can see kind of what that looks like once we start getting some of those jobs. And that's job order contracting. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment or a question below, and let us know if you want to see more content like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, until next time, bye guys.